Summary of the highlights of ICI News Canada, with its presenter Angelica Cifuentes. Recent regulations implemented since September 2024 by airlines like Air Canada do not completely ban carry-on baggage, but restrict certain items to improve security. These measures include strict limits on the size and weight of carry-on baggage, ban on sharp objects, liquids in containers larger than 100 milliliters, and devices such as drones without prior authorization. Restrictions on tools, sports equipment, and hazardous substances. These policies aim to optimize boarding and minimize risks during flights. During a recent meeting between Donald Trump and Justin Trudeau at Mar-a-Lago, the U.S. President-elect joked about the possibility of Canada becoming the 51st state of the United States in a tone suggested by Trump. He joked that if Canada couldn't survive without running a $100 billion trade deficit with the United States, it might have to join the Union, with Trudeau as governor. The proposal comes amid trade tensions, particularly given Trump's threat to impose a 25% tariff on imports from Canada. The Quebec government has proposed new measures to address the shortage of doctors in the public system. Among these are plans to require recently graduated doctors in the province to work in the public system for a certain period. This proposal is framed by the use of the exemption clause of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which allows for the adoption of laws that could limit certain rights, at least temporarily. The goal is to prevent doctors from choosing to work in the private sector or outside the province, which has contributed to the current crisis in the public health system. The plan has drawn criticism from doctors and patient advocates, who argue that rather than imposing restrictions, it would be more effective to improve working conditions and incentives in the public system. Home sales in the Greater Toronto Area continue to rise, driven largely by lower interest rates and more affordable prices. According to the latest reports from the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, TRREB, in November 2024, sales increased by 40.1% compared to the same month last year, with 5,875 transactions. This rebound is linked to more favorable market conditions, where lower interest rates and inflation have allowed more buyers to re-enter the real estate market. In particular, the single-family home segment, especially in the City of Toronto, has seen price growth above inflation. However, condominium prices remain lower than last year, giving buyers greater negotiating power, particularly for this type of property. The Canadian Federal Police is considering sending cadets to strengthen border surveillance, particularly in light of the increase in irregular immigration crossings from the United States to Canada. This increase has been notable in regions such as Quebec, where local and federal authorities are working to better manage the flow of asylum-seeking migrants. In response to these challenges, measures are being taken to strengthen security forces and secure the border. Agreements have also been implemented with the United States, such as the Third Safe Country Agreement, which regulates asylum claims between the two countries. The Greater Toronto Area is expected to see snowfall on Wednesday, with accumulations of up to 5 centimeters in many areas. This is part of a series of snowstorms that will affect the region in the coming days, potentially bringing slippery conditions and limited visibility, particularly on roads and public transit. The snow is expected to arrive alongside cold temperatures, with temperatures feeling like -3 degrees Celsius, which will further increase the impact of the precipitation on the city. Canadian car sales saw a notable recovery in November 2024, increasing 8.8% compared to the same month last year. This growth reflects a stabilization of the market following previous challenges, such as supply chain issues and semiconductor shortages that affected global vehicle production. Key brands in the Canadian market include Kia, Chevrolet and Toyota, which saw strong sales across categories such as cars, SUVs and trucks. This increase in sales is also part of a positive trend globally, where increases in revenue and profits have been recorded for major automotive brands. Overall, demand is strong and is supporting profit growth, although the market is expected to face some challenges in the future due to inflation and price pressures. Subscribe and share from our YouTube and Facebook platforms such as ICI Noticias Canada. Thanks for watching.